Great, yeah. Look at you, savvy,
I
cell phone
might
savvy.
put this on.
Bam, we're
See if
live.
it's reception.
Norbert,
Hey, what's up, man? You good?
I'm so good. Hey, how are you? How are you with pressure and stress?
I'm good. I'm good. Obviously, it comes like I'm used to it now. I've been doing it since I was quite young. So there is stress and pressure, but you get used to it.
Um, we had Jack Della Maddalena on the show. He lost his first 2 fights, and now he's been on a 15-fight win streak. We had Tyson Bagent on the show. He was a Division II football player, never supposed to go to the NFL. Now he's the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I say this to you with peace and love. Some people try to compare you to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That is a huge mistake. You are a mix of the style bender Conor McGregor and a Patty the Batty. You are truly something special, dude. Um,
Thank you.
I read this book one time that you have to see yourself 5 years ahead and be that great, what you want to be, and then the rest of the world will then catch up to you. It's not that you're gonna be great; you're already great, and then the world has to catch up to you. And I wonder if you know that you will be the biggest thing in the history of MMA. Just the world hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah. Firstly, thank you. So I really actually like. I'm not even just saying that. Like I really appreciate it. It means a lot. But
You are so special, dude. There's a
thank you.
seriousness to you and a freedom and playfulness to you. Like Patty has the chaos and Connor has the chaos and Stylebender has the seriousness, but you bring like a humility to it all and kind of like a sanity and then present it. It's wild, dude. It's wild.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if there are little interviews with me when I was 16 and stuff like that, and since the beginning of it's a weird one to say, especially now I'm getting to that level where I might end up fighting guys like Musasi and these guys, and it's a weird one. Since I was a kid, I grew up watching Hercules and not like a cartoon. Even though the guy I'm fighting, his name's Hercules, but all my tales are Greek mythology, and I always wanted to be one of these heroes, these warriors. It's a quite weird one. Also, my dad was a fighter as well, and where I'm from, he's quite famous. He won the Olympics, so I grew up in that environment where people were telling me since I was a kid that, oh, even if you're going to be half as good as your dad, you're going to be great. And then he kind of he's got that personality where he loves combat as well. So I kind of grew up in like around warriors and fighters, and everything that I watched and everything that I read was about war and combat and heroes. So all my life I wanted to be one. And when I discovered MMA, when my dad opened his gym at, I must have been like 10. Obviously, I did karate, kickboxing, karate, wrestling, boxing. I did all of that before, but I never took it seriously. And when my dad opened his gym, that's when I was like, this is what I want to be. And every single day since then, I've been waking up and it's like, honestly, every single day, I have not missed a day of telling myself that I will be a world champion. And I know for a fact that I will be one. I know I've tested myself. I've sparred UFC champions. I've sparred top guys, and anyone can research my whole social media and history, and I know I'm that good. I know I can be a world champion. It's just like you said, it's a matter of time, and it's me putting in that work every single day.
And it also appears you're having fun. That's the crazy part. It looks like you're having so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, I do. When once I'm in there, I do have a lot of fun. My days are horrible. I sometimes I cry myself to sleep. I train at a gym that's notorious for the hard work. The London Shoe Fighters were the first MMA gym in Europe, and we're known. We're known to be super rough. Like guys like Lee Murray, who came from the gym. Even Marvin Vittori, Yuri Prochaska used to train here. Alexander Gustafsson. Everyone that's big in European MMA, every single big European MMA coaches and this and that, everyone's been here, and we're notorious for the hard work. And my I know that my coach sees something special in me, so he pushes me to my limits all the time. And because of that. Once I'm in there, like that's for me, that's freedom. And even just the fact that I had to take 2.5 years out because of injuries and COVID and this and that, and before that year out, and before that year out. So to me, once I'm in there, like everything did, like I get to take it in. I get to appreciate it a little bit more because I don't have it all the time.
Saber and Kelly, too much, Sevon, too much. I know if you, as soon as you see him, I'm telling you, it is not too much. Hey, when you say that you cry yourself to sleep, literally you have cried yourself to sleep. You've come home from
I'm
the
crying
gym and
myself to
just
sleep a lot of
yeah.
nights. A lot of nights. It is that rough, you know. It's a weird one when you get to a level where it does drive you crazy, you know. And it sounds a bit mainstream because McGregor said that as well. Like he lost his mind and Van Gogh and all that. But it's true. Like when you wake up with it and sleep with it, and this is all you sleep and eat and breathe, and your dreams about fighting, and it does drive you crazy. And I feel like when I was younger, I had a lot of pressure on me. Just when I was very young, because of my dad, and then as I started getting older, I had family issues, you know, and loads of stuff where it could have gone wrong, and I'm just grateful for the universe to put me into a good environment to keep me with the sport all the time, and I've been through a lot, like obviously like a lot because I don't talk about whatever and people don't know me yet. I had when I was younger, it was a little bit rough, not too rough, but a little bit rough growing up. And this sport was like my anchor. I remember I was my little brother and sister. I was looking at them and I was telling myself like you guys are gonna have a great life because I'm gonna work my ass off so I can be extremely successful in this sport. And you know this kept me to the sport, and I did lose my mind doing this sport. So when I'm in there, I have to enjoy myself. That's my fun time because every other day when I'm at the gym and I don't want to be there, you know, it's drama. It's a bit of a nightmare.
Anthony Adams, this guy kicks fucking ass. Yes, he does kick fucking ass. Heidi Kroom, did Norbert fart? It wasn't me. Someone
No,
farted. Did you fart?
no,
No, you
no,
didn't fart.
that was. I got a message on my phone. I got a message
Oh,
on my
oh, that
phone.
was a phone vibrating, not a fart. Thank you, Heidi, for your very important question. Hey, Norbert, how old are you?
24.
There's this I have 3 little boys, and there's this talk among parents that you shouldn't tell your kids that they're doing great, that you should tell your kids that they're hard workers. Because if you tell them that they're great, then supposedly the psychological phenomenon is if you tell them they're great, then they're afraid to try new things because they're afraid to fail because they want to live up to the expectation that the parent says that they're great. But if you tell them they're a hard worker, then to please the parent, they know that they can please the parent just by working hard. Do you know what obviously you had a tremendous role model in your dad. Your dad has more world championships in more disciplines than any other human being who's walked the planet, all in the, in the fighting realm, in the combat sport realm. But was there and then you've already implied something else that a lot of great people had. You had something, obviously some really bad shit going on somewhere in your life at home. And so fighting was sort of a way to manage that sport. Right. But could you sum up for parents out there what your upbringing was like that kept you working hard, that didn't make you afraid of failure?
Yeah. It's a weird one because firstly, growing up, I saw my dad train hard and work hard. You know, he's got into acting, and you know, I've seen him do a lot of hard work. And
Like what? Like go in the gym and just grind, like do 2
yeah,
hours of
gym,
cardio and then
just
fight for
everything in
2 hours
general.
and
Yeah, you see him go do meetings and this and that. Like you know, just have it in the environment of people doing something they love and actually putting effort into it. And then always my parents split up. There were a lot of stuff going on, and my yeah. Long story short, my mom ended up having to come to UK or leave Hungary just because of uh, a crazy ex. But I was living with my dad, and I haven't seen my siblings for a long time. Then when I came to the UK, I was worst case. Basically, my dad said like worst case, go out for a year, you learn how to speak English properly. Because where I'm from, we don't speak English. And then worst case, I go back and I keep training there. And one, I saw my mom work really hard. You know, my mom was a single immigrant mother with 3 kids, so there was no joke for her, and she really did have to work hard. Um, but because of that, you know, we for a long time we didn't really have that much money. Plus, um, seeing my mom, you know, she kind of hit like a pretty bad low at the time, which kind of messed up our relationship as well a little bit. And all of that all together kind of kept me working hard. And to be fair, looking at my siblings now, you know, they've got it okay. You know, they got phones. Yeah, everyone's got new phones. Everyone's got an Xbox, this and that. And you know, they work hard, and I think that's in my family. We're very hard workers. So obviously my mom's pushing them now as well. I don't live with them anymore, but you know, I still go over and I see them, and my mom does push them. But I think just having that little hardship in your life kind of wants to make you work hard, and it's not necessarily financial hardship, because I've got friends who come from very good backgrounds, financial backgrounds, with you know, surgeon parents and this and that. I think it's something from within that create a hardship for you, whatever it is. You know, if you look at something that's to you is negative and you don't want to have that anymore in your life, I think that creates that mentality of working hard. But like I said, I saw my mom work extremely hard, doing 2 3 jobs. Um, and I had to, you know, when I was a kid, my thing was that I took my siblings to school, then I went to school, then I picked them up from school, then I go home, get changed, 2 hours to the gym. I used to live quite far from the gym, so I used to take the bus 2 hours to the gym, train, 2 hours back home, get home at
Wow.
11, go to sleep, and I did all my homework, everything on the bus, you know, and like not seeing my dad for years, and all that kind of stuff. So I think that I just didn't want to have that anymore. Well, no, I didn't have. I wanted something better even when I was like 14, 15, you know. And I realized for me, fighting is something that I really enjoy and I love and I'm very passionate about. So why don't I put all my effort into it? And it seems to be working out.
Yeah. So you're born in Hungary and you're a little boy, and you're the oldest sibling, it sounds like?
So on my mom's side, so my on my dad's got 3 kids from 3 different women. Um, yeah, he had fun. So I've got an older sister on that side. She's like 40 something now, and I've got a little brother there as well, who's 14. And then on my mom's side, I've got 13 and 14-year-old little brother and sister. So
With the
my
same with
mom's
the
side.
same father? With the same father,
No,
your mom?
different dad, different dad, different dad. That's why that guy, because of that guy, my mom had to kind of immigrate, leave the country. So because of that, I grew up with my mom. So technically, I was the eldest because I had to look after my little brother and sister. You know,
So
I grew up with
you're the only son, you're the
from my
only
mom and my
child
dad.
that your mother and father have.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and were your parents ever married or no?
No, not really. No,
And
no. They
and,
can. They
and
worked together for a couple of years, but when I was like 6, they split up. So that was quite bad as well because of my dad is quite famous in Hungary, so it was all over the news. And my mom said a couple of things that weren't true. And I remember going to school and people asking me about it, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but like we saw it on the TV. So it was kind of like that was quite bad, but yeah, it's all good.
so, 0 to 6, your mom and your dad is in your life.
Yeah,
Then at 6 years old, your parents divorce.
yeah.
Very, you know,
Then
I don't know how it is in Hungary, but in the United States, that's a pretty common story, right? That's probably like 50%
yeah,
of the
I think there's
people.
the whole world nowadays.
Yeah. And then at 6 years, is that when does your dad actually leave Hungary and go to the UK at that point? And
No,
so
no,
you're
no,
just
no. So
alone with
my
your
dad,
mom?
my
No.
dad still in no, no. I came with my mom. So my dad is he still in
Oh,
Hungary? He lives
he
in
stayed
Hungary.
there. Okay.
Yeah, he stayed there. So what happened was basically my after my little brother and sister dad after my so yeah, my little brother and sister dad, my mom's partner after my dad, who's you know quite rough on my mom, and there was a big government change as well. big government change in Hungary as well, and my mom worked for the government. So because he worked for the government, there was a government change. They kind of got rid of everyone that worked for the government. So my mom was like, I just lost a very, very good job. I don't know what I'm going to do. Plus, I've got this guy who's threatening to kill me. Like, I need to get out. So my mom moved out first, and then me and my siblings followed. Like, my siblings were living with my grandparents. I was living with my dad, and then we all moved out when I was 13. So, you know, we were in Hungary until.
In those years, from like 6 to 13, before you left, was your dad still involved in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To this day, I still speak to my dad every day. So I've got a fairly decent relationship with my dad. Obviously, it's hard to have a perfect relationship when you don't see each other, when you don't live with each other. But I speak to my dad every single day. It was just that when I moved out here, that's when I was like, I'm not seeing my dad anymore. You know, it's one of those ones.
Does
Yeah.
does he does he trip on you?
What do you mean by that?
Is because because of just who you are? Is he just tickled at your success and that you followed in his footsteps?
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. He's a bit too much. Sometimes I tell him that I'm not very good at a certain area or something I did wrong, and he's like, he's very what's the right word? What's the word? He's basically he thinks he's like, nah, you're being stupid. You're that good, or he's very over supportive sometimes with his
Uh,
children.
Let me ask you this: Did you let him do this to you?
What do you mean?
This right here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say that yes, I did because everyone thought it was being serious and we was drilling, and then it did hurt my ego quite a bit. But yeah, I did. I knew it would get a lot of views, so we did that together. But he's honestly to this day, like when I wrestle with him, he's almost 79. He's like 68. And I've never felt anything like that when it comes to just having like a 50-50 position. He's so heavy. It's just I understand, that's the highest level of Greco-Roman wrestling. That's the Olympic champion there, and I get it because it literally feels like when we're standing, like how we just cringing, standing up.
Uh,
It feels like
okay.
someone's laying on top of you. I don't know how
Even
he does
even
that,
even the, even there, it feels like
Yeah,
that,
honestly, it feels like someone's laying on top of you.
and
He's
that's why
got
you're
that kind
pushing
of
him away.
pressure.
You don't like the position, so you push him away.
Yeah. Nah, he's very, very heavy there. Yeah, he's just super strong. He's a very strong individual.
Could that move? What's that move called?
That one is like a lateral drop, belly to belly suplex. Is a mixture of the two, belly to belly suplex. You can say that. Yeah.
Could you do that? Could that happen? Have you ever seen that in Bellator, the UFC, or anywhere? I've never seen that. Someone
Yeah,
like
no, it
commit to
happens
that.
a lot. My
Yeah,
dad actually done that
does.
in his MMA fights. I've done it as well. Not in fights, but in training. I think it's a common move. But you have to be a very good wrestler. A very good wrestler. Yeah, you have to be used to it.
And the
So
commitment's crazy. And obviously, he outweighs you here by 60, 70, 80 pounds, right?
yeah, I think so. That was quite. When was I think that was like 2019. So I was a bit
5
smaller
years
back
ago.
then. Yeah, I was a bit smaller back then. But yeah, I would say so. I would say it's probably like 20 kilos heavier than me, 30 kilos heavier than me there. But it's still though. I'm still in that video. I'm probably like what 93, 94 kilos, which is like 200 and 210. I'd say 215, something like that. So I'm not that light. But yeah, just technique. He's very, very good.
Jan Clark, Shale Sonnen, and Damian Maya would lateral drop people often. Wow.
Yeah, see, yeah. But that's
That was a
this is
little.
like a this is like a belly to belly version of it. It's you have to load them on your hip on your chest, and you go a little bit over. But it's basically a very good level of lateral drop. Yeah,
Your dad won the gold medal in the Olympics,
yeah. So he won
and
19.
then go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, he won 1980, and then when they were supposed to go to the States, because it was obviously a Cold War, so that he wasn't allowed to. So the Soviet countries had their own like Olympic Games, and he won that as well. So
Wow.
you could say they want to, but yeah.
Wow. And that really doesn't diminish the level. The level there so high that just winning there, even just with the Soviet states, is insane.
Well, to be fair, Greco-Roman wrestling, like the state, America is well, the US is very good at freestyle wrestling, but in Greco-Roman they're not like top level. So most of the elite countries like Russia, Bulgaria, Romania, Cuba, and all these countries they were Japan and all these countries they were there for that 1980 Olympics. So, and I think my dad's like not NCAA, but he went to like US nationals and stuff like that in wrestling as well, and he won those as well. So
And
yeah,
Norbert the Fifth. What I learned from you from one of your other interviews, I didn't know this, is that Greco wrestling, you don't grab the legs. It's all upper body. It's all throwing. So there's no leg grabbing,
yeah.
and that's the distinction between
So
Greco and freestyle.
yeah, so no leg grabbing, no leg hooking, nothing. The only reason you use your legs is to stand up. But otherwise, yeah, it's all upper body. It's horrible. It's so hard. It's the hardest part of wrestling because you get someone who draws it every day. They cannot get an underhook on them, and you have to get an underhook and take them for a ride. So it's no joke.
Hey, when your mom meets this new guy, do you
Yeah.
quickly realize he's a piece of shit?
Uh, Not really. You kind of. To be fair, I was so young. I was so young. I was very young. So to me, it was like whatever. It's cool. And then over time, you realize, and then yeah.
Let me ask you this. This is a fucked up question, but hard. But is any part of you um emotionally charged that you weren't able to defend your mom because you were too young? You were too little. You were just a boy.
Um, yeah, I mean, if I
Like you're
saw this
angry
guy, to be fair, I don't know what I would do if I saw the guy. I'd probably try to slap him, but I'm too fair, I'm a quite like cool customer, so I probably just tend to fuck off and that's it. But
But I mean, at the time, do you remember being like, "This fucking sucks. I want to beat this guy up, but I'm a fucking kid."
yeah, nah, not really. I don't think
Uh
I'll
oh, you froze. You froze.
train it. Say it again.
You froze. Sorry, you froze right at the good
Oh,
question.
oh, sorry. Yeah. So I don't know. At the time, not really. I was like, oh, this guy's an asshole. But I wasn't. I don't think I understood because I'm like what 7, 8, 9 at the time.
Mhm.
So I don't think I fully understood what it was that was going on. Like I understood that it's not right, and the guy hit my mom, blah blah blah. But at the same time, I don't think I fully understood it. I think I started understanding it when I was like 12ish. That's when I was like, oh shit, so that was actually bad, like and
And he was gone by then?
yeah, like that's when my mom, like literally around that time, he left, and then my mom was like, "Cool, now I need to start going out, like leaving the country because of him, because he went crazy." But yeah,
I had an incident. I was probably 15 or 6. I was probably maybe 14 years old, and I was out with my sister, and some guy completely fucking lost his cool. And although he didn't my sister, he was just an asshole for like 10 minutes, right? Trying to spit on us. And and it stuck with me forever to this day. I wish I would have grabbed a fucking, like, I didn't handle it right. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to get beat up, but I should have just said, fuck it. Like, I should have thrown caution to the wind and got a stick or a hammer or something and gone out there and just fucking mashed them. And so I
yeah,
was just wondering if like that stuck with you too. Like, fuck, like someone told me that it doesn't matter whether you win or lose a fight. You want to leave a fight emotionally feeling you did the right thing.
yeah. Yeah, it's a good question because I to be honest with you, I never thought of it. It never really crossed my mind until today. But to me, at least, it's kind of in the past, and wherever everything happened, the way it happened, and I feel like my family is a good place, better place than it would have been, any other way. So I'm very, zen about it. If you'd say,
Yeah,
obviously, if I
good.
saw the guy, I might slap him up, if I'm in that situation. But I probably won't. Like I said, I'm a cool customer. I never get into altercation. I always walk away. I just probably give it to him, like put on him a little bit, and he couldn't do anything. So it'd be very funny to see him shit his pants.
You, Norbert, you come to the United Kingdom. You don't speak any English. What do they speak in Hungary?
Hungarian.
Hungarian.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hungarian.
And
Yeah.
and so you come to the United States, and what was that like? Are you immediately just put into a school where everyone
Yeah.
speaks English and
So
you don't, and you just
I
have to figure it out?
yeah, so I spoke a little English. So in Hungary, actually, I think education is quite a big thing. I think we got one of the most per capita, the most amount of like Nobel Prize winners or something like that. So in Hungary, education is pretty solid. So like you have to learn two languages, blah blah blah. So I spoke a little bit of English, but obviously not. You know, I sounded like Borat, like proper. Oh man, you know, it's proper like that. And I came down and it was quite funny to be fair because I remember I was the first month or so, like I'm sitting in the class and like I don't understand, like I understand when people are slow down and slowly talking to me, but I don't understand what's going on. But then as a kid, you pick it up. If anything, it was hard on my little brother. I remember my little brother used to get into a lot of fights when he was like 3 years old, maybe two, and like he was in kindergarten or like that for you is kindergarten, I think. Like here
Yep.
it's called nursery. Um, but he used to get a couple fight. Like I used to pick him up from school, and they were like, "Oh, he got another fight and another fight." So you know, it kind of affected him the most, I'd say. But you know, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't feel like in my school, I was, I think apart from one American kid, like one kid from I was like the only foreigner, I'm pretty sure. I grew up in like a fairly English area. And yeah, it was fun. It was funny.
Were you in the
Funny, you know,
big city?
everyone, at
Were you in?
first, you know, but yeah, so I'm just on the I grew just outside of London. So it's called, it's a country. Um, but yeah, it's really like you see London is just on the outside of it. It's just one of those areas that was well at least my school was there. A lot of English there. So yeah, but it's right next to London. But it was funny.
And,
Now that I get it, because everyone used to do the Borat accent and all that, and I didn't get it. But now I do, and it's quite funny. It was quite funny.
um, and then you have you been in the UK ever since? Did you ever go back to Hungary after you came to the United Kingdom? And by go there, I don't mean to visit, but I mean, did you ever go there
Yeah, I'll
like
go
to
back
live
here
again?
and oh no, no way. I like it here. I really like it here. You know, and all my friends are here now. Um, my family, my siblings, fair. Like for me, even when I speak Hungarian now, like I've got like broken Hungarian. It's weird. Like for me, I have to look for like words and like I have to translate stuff. Like my brain just switched to like English and yeah, like I said, my friends are here. Look, I love culture here. I love everything here. So when I go back, it's just a bit. It doesn't really feel like home anymore. Hungary. It sounds weird, but it just doesn't feel like home anymore. Like for me, London, like England, feels like home.
So you've been here. So
Yeah.
you've been here for 11 years, and you never moved back.
No, I'm
Okay.
not really planning to either. So.
Okay. Sorry, you were breaking up. Sorry to repeat the question. And then
I'm
are
sorry.
you
I don't know why the internet.
where are you right now? Are you in Miami?
No, no. Like
No.
I'm underground, but we got Wi-Fi here. But yeah, I'm in London. I've got 2 sessions already. I'm waiting for the third one.
Wow. Okay, for some reason from watching just your Instagram, for some reason I thought maybe you were training in Miami. Were you training in Miami a little bit?
No, my teammate Michael Page was fighting in Miami. He made his UFC debut there, so I was out there with him. You know, but I'm planning on going back. It's a very very fun city. It's
Hey,
good times.
yeah, crazy, right? And you're undefeated at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Planning on keeping that.
and I heard you say in an interview that you're scared to lose. Can you tell me, was that are you truly scared to lose? Is that I've heard that before from other like really high level athletes. Like, hey, yeah, I have this fucking really strong fear of losing.
Yeah, 100%. I wake up every day thinking about this fight and how not only how I'm going to be, but how it can go wrong. And I always try to like make peace with what the worst scenarios. and I'm scared of losing, and because of that, I'm always in the gym. I'm doing the best I can to be the best killer I possibly can be. I'm I'm not even gonna lie about it. I am nervous of losing, but I think that's what makes it special for me because I work extremely hard. And then like I've seen other people and people who say they work hard and they don't work as hard as me, and I know that for a fact because I've seen it. So
And are you 7-0 right now?
7-0, yeah.
In
Eight and
two of
zero
your fights,
soon.
2 of your fights are outside of Bellator, and then 5 are in Bellator.
No, so one fight was outside of Bellator, my first pro debut, and then since then, basically, I had my pro debut just before my pro debut. Bellator was doing a show. They were doing a show in Hungary, and the Hungarian organizers they just asked if I could be on the prelim card or like whatever, just because that's by then I started like within the MMA community. I feel like MMA in Hungary only just blew up in the past 2-3 years. Before then, there it wasn't really big, and even though I was just having my first pro fight, I was a little bit known within the community. So they kind of they put me on that card, and then Bellator saw me and they realized me, so they wanted to sign me. So
And they were
yeah,
having the fight there in Hungary, or sorry, in
yeah,
Hungary, and so they thought that
yeah,
you would be a good draw for the crowd.
yeah. So they was doing a show in Hungary, and then the Hungarian organizer to put me on the card, and I was the only prelim fight. So they contacted my coaches, they put me on the card, and then that was just a one fight contract, and I did quite well. So straight after my fight, Bellator called my coaches. My Bellator and my coaches have a good relationship already because we had loads of guys in Bellator by then. But they called my coaches and they were like, "We want to sign this kid." So they gave me a good contract, and I was 18 at the time.
And this fight you have, it's on June 22nd. It's against Dalton Rasta.
Yeah.
Great guy, great fighter, great record. And is it going to be shown on Cinemax? Where is that being shown? I don't mean to be a dick, but why is Bellator so shitty at promoting fights? Are they shitty? I
I
feel
don't
like
know,
they're
man.
shitty.
I don't know.
I
I
feel
don't
like it
know.
should just be
Like,
easy. Your fight this week could be a main event. Like I would pay. I love Dalton, and I'm starting to fall in love with you, and I just can't. I can't believe this isn't like this fight is huge. This is going to be a turning point for both of you.
yeah, I think it's because of this Bellator PFL merger. I think it's because of that. But there
Shouldn't
was a
that
time when
help?
Bellator
Wasn't
was.
that supposed to help? Wasn't that supposed to help?
Yeah, I think just because it just started happening. I think it's a bit messy, just because it
Uh-huh.
just started now. But it's gonna. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on the zone.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
okay. Okay.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on the zone. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a fun fight. Well, not for Dalton,
Uh
but for me, it's gonna be fun.
DAZN, let me see. I want to put in DAZN and then type in your name, Norbert. And I want to see if if it says yeah, like nothing comes up in the searches. I just put in Norbert and DAZN, and it doesn't mention anything about it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I think if you just put Bellator. Yeah, I think when they had a deal with Sky Sports before, that was clear. It was Sky Sports in the UK, and that was quite clear. But I think if you just put Bellator Championship Series or Champion Series, I think that's when it's gonna come up.
When you fight him, are you like for both of you, this could be the fight that takes you to the title fight? Like that's accurate, correct?
Uh, to a certain, I think we because the next fight is Ablin versus Fabian, and then Costello just beat Baben, and Costello's going to fight for the title after. So I think after I beat Dalton, I'm going to have to beat someone else, and then it's title. But I'm right there. It's
Then
right there. So it's going to be fun.
are you jumping up the ranks too quickly for your like is any part of you like, hey, they shouldn't be rushing me like this, I should have more fights?
No, because I've done my rounds. I know what level I'm on. I've
Okay.
done those rounds outside the cage, like in the gyms, and I know what level I'm on. If you asked me this question maybe 2 years ago, I would have been like, yes, absolutely. But now I'm very confident in my skill set because I've tested it.
Have your last two fights, were they knockouts?
Yeah, yeah, first round
And
knockouts. Yeah.
have you ever gone the distance?
Once against Will Fleury. Will Fleury is actually ended up going to PFL. He beat Chris Biocco. He did quite well there, but he just got popped for juicing. But yeah, that one, I was 19 at the time. That was a big fight. Like I dropped him probably 12 times. I think I was a bit inexperienced to know how to finish it. So like I dropped him 3 times the first round, dropped him in the second round, dropped him in the third round. It was quite like I ended up breaking his orbital, his I broke his orbital. I think I broke something else, but then I torn his bicep, muscle in the back. It was a quite rough fight for Will, and you know I've got a good relationship with Will. He used to train in London as well, so I knew him before we fought. But that was a good fight because he was Irish, and that was in Dublin as well. That was my first fight in Dublin, and that was a big card. That card, McGregor was there because Gallagher was fighting there, then Michael Page was fighting there, then Benson Henderson was fighting there, then a bunch of Irish people, and I was in the main card. So by the time I fought, the whole show was like the whole arena was packed, and it's like there were 13,000 people there. So I remember, imagine a 19-year-old kid, like you know that camp was horrible. I was so nervous the whole fight. That was like a big step up in competition for me, and I walked out and everyone booed me. Like imagine like you get 10,000 boos. Oh
Yeah.
my! It felt so good. It felt so good. I think that's when a lot of hardcore fans who actually follow MMA like Bellator as well, like really closely. That's when a lot of journalists and people like that started following me and kind of starting to keep it. For me, I think because it was even though it went to decision, it was just the experience why I didn't. But otherwise, it was just a great fight. You know, I was dancing during the fight. I was doing a floss and Fortnite dancing mid fight. So it was good. It was very
Hey,
good.
hey, by the way, so I'm 52 years old and I've been seeing that dance. You know, the dance
Oh,
went away. The flossing dances kind of went away, but you know, 5 years ago when it was really popular, I never until I recently was watching you in interviews, I didn't know that was from Fortnite. Like I've never even seen Fortnite. But is that's something one of the characters do? They do a floss
yeah.
dance?
I think it started from like TikTok and then Fortnite put in the game and then it became big in the game or something like that. Yeah.
So
So
that's the thing. When I wish I can't remember exactly where the video is, but you're in the middle of a fight and you do the floss, and the
yeah,
way
it's
you
down there
do
on
it
my
is so
Instagram.
yeah, that the when you did that, it's so different than um uh when let's say Floyd Mayweather would butt fuck people, or you know when he would do that move, or no, not Anthony Broner. Is it Broner? Broner would do that. You know how he would butt fuck people in the boxing matches? If they turned around, he'd pretend
Yeah, I
like
guess so.
butt
Yeah,
fucking them. Or uh
yeah,
or the way Stylebender does some of his dances, or like or like the way
yeah,
some people will try to teabag other guys. Yours is so different. It's like so there's it's showboating, but it's not like derogatory. You're letting the world know how great you are without having to put the other guy down. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? There's
Yeah. So
I don't know, there's
yeah,
just a different classiness and confidence to you that is that's absolutely a pleasure to watch.
thank
Absolutely
you.
pleasure.
Well,
Were you gonna say something?
yeah,
Go
so,
ahead.
no, you finished. Sorry, my bad.
So listen, look at Saber. You're coming around, right? He says, I gushing and I'm falling in love. I can see it. Yeah, I'm telling you. This is the guy in a year you're gonna be like, how the fuck did you ever get Norbert on your podcast? This is that guy. You guys are gonna be like, what was he doing? Hey, why are you doing why do podcasts like this? I mean, this is the biggest podcast in the CrossFit space by far, but CrossFit community is a small
Yeah.
community. I mean, it's
Well, I'm
worldwide.
actually a massive CrossFit fan. So during one of my
Oh,
friends owned a CrossFit gym. So
oh,
throughout the I started before. Actually, I started doing CrossFit while I was in Kuwait for a couple of weeks, and then I really enjoyed it, and I got into it. And throughout the whole of COVID, I was just doing CrossFit. The reason why I had to stop because I just can't balance the workload with CrossFit and MMA training. But I love CrossFit. I used to do it like 3 times a week. I love it. Yeah, I'm
But
actually a massive fan. I'm a massive fan. Like, we got a couple Hungarians like Laura Horvath as well,
oh,
who's doing
wow, you
very
know,
well.
wow,
Yeah.
so you do know. Holy shit.
I'm a massive CrossFit fan. Like now, recently, I've been lacking, but I'm honestly during COVID, because my friend had a CrossFit gym, so I was doing it every day. I taught myself how to program WODs. I'm a massive CrossFit fan. Yeah,
Hey, do you know Laura?
I don't know her personally, unfortunately,
No,
but I
you
was a
guys
big
haven't
fan.
met you.
No, because she's in Canada, I think. So I'm in the UK. We never really. But
No,
yeah,
no, she's in Hungary. She's in Hungary.
oh, I remember at the time she was in Canada. I think when I started like following her properly. But yeah, I've never met her. But yeah, she's a beast.
Hey, she's a tough cookie. She's been on the show, and she's a tough cookie, and she's you know, she's very in the interviews. Like she's like I'll ask her a question, she'll be like, "That's a dumb question," and she's very stoic. Is she typical Hungarian? Is that the way Hungarians are? Very stoic, straightforward.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hungarians are tend to be very miserable. They
Mm, mm.
even our national anthem, like, is like proper depressing. I think there's just like a culture where you see people
Yeah.
walk on the street, everyone, like depressed. It's a weird culture over there. That's why I like the British one, because they quite, especially in London, they like everyone's a little bit, like serious, whatever, but it's more jokey. We got a lot more banter, Joe, blah blah. Hungary is very like maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I don't know her personally. I'm not trying to say before it's taken the wrong way. I'm not trying to say that she's miserable and depressing or whatever. I don't know her. I'm just saying that's like culturally in Hungary, it's like that. But
I
I
think
don't
she,
know.
you know what I think it is? I think she loves me to death and she gets really nervous around me. That's what I tell myself. I
Could
think she's
be,
in
could
love.
be,
I think she loves me and she's just very nervous.
could
Hey,
be.
um, uh, amateur fight. How many amateur fights did you have?
So officially 3, but I had one MMA amateur in Hungary that when I was 13 that was never recorded, and then I had loads of like grappling and amateur and field pancration. So actually, Christian Lee, who was the one FC champion.
Yep, yep.
He was 15 at the time. I was like 13. We competed against each other. So I know him. I've been doing loads of karate competitions, this and that, So, but amateur fights, that's on my topology is 3. Oh, sorry, I got another message.
You farted. We know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, again.
uh, 13 years old, MMA. How does that work? Are you guys wearing headgear?
No, no, that was just reckless. To be fair, like basically I just had like puffy gloves, but no shin pads, no headgear, no nothing. So that's Hungary for you. That now it's very different. Now it's very different. And I remember my dad was one. So firstly, actually, funny enough, at the time my dad was my dad and he's like friends, whatever, but they were campaigning because they were having really reckless fights, like 12-year-olds getting like edemas and internal bleeding from fights in Hungary. It was nuts. And then they used my fight as a counter argument. But both me and the other kid, we had international competitions and we've been training for a long time. And he was like 14, 15 at the time as well. So, it was one of those ones that we were like a little bit higher level for our age. But yeah, it was reckless, 100%.
I'm sending Laura Horvat a link to the show. Please come on for 30 seconds and say hi to Norbert. Maybe she's gonna tell me to fuck off. She probably regrets giving me her phone number.
Yeah, but she's a beast, honestly. But
Oh
all
my
these
god,
CrossFit
she's
girls,
so special. She's such a
yeah.
special human. Yeah.
Yeah, but all these CrossFit girls are mad, mad, mad. Like they're crazy. I've got a couple friends. One of my sponsors. They actually like they a brand. They some of the best supplements you're ever gonna find because it's not like a big supplement company. Everything is natural, and the guy who puts it together is one of the best nutritional scientists in the world, Steve Grant, and they actually do it for actors and stunt people, but they sponsor a lot of CrossFitters. So we actually filmed a whole session of me doing CrossFit last February, but we never put it out for some reason. But like I said, I'm huge on CrossFit. I'm huge on CrossFit.
Did you know when you came on the podcast? Did you know it was a CrossFit podcast?
Yeah.
You did. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you vet it. You're not just like, I'll come on any podcast. You actually vetted it.
No, I checked you out because when you messaged me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Before you messaged me, I didn't really know, and obviously I did my research, and that's why I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to come on. Yeah. Sick.
Oh, cool. Well, that's cool. You're about to be big time. You'll never come on again. You'll forget.
Nah, I don't think so. I appreciate it. I'll be back whenever you want me to.
So let's go back to this. Fighting your whole life, but only 3 amateur fights, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then including the one that got you the job with Bellator, and then 5 pro fights. But then there's other people like Israel Adesanya, and they have 13,000 kickboxing matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yet you're climbing the ranks quick, but there's no issue with that because of just the endless training.
Yeah, I do all my rounds at the gym. So sometimes I spar. Like I had weeks when I sparred twice a day, every day.
Okay.
So I had a week when I did. We counted it. It was like over 50 rounds. That included boxing rounds, MMA rounds. Well, as in still like full, like even like jiu-jitsu rounds I don't count, or wrestling rounds I don't count. It's only punching and kicking rounds I count as rounds. So I brought over 50 rounds one week. So I do like I got my right now. I started tapering down because I'm on that where I don't have to get all the experience in. But I've done all the experience traveling around, sparring everyone. I've been, anyone I can get a hold of, I try to spar them all the time. I travel different countries, continents just to get rounds in. So
hey, that's
where I get my experience from.
How crazy is this? Well, let me see if I can find the picture. This is crazy. How did this happen right here? Hamzat. You sparred with Hamza?
Oh, Hamza. Yeah.
That's crazy. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. So basically, I wanted to get some rounds in, and my coach knows his coach. They've known each other for a long time, so he was like, "Listen, we're coming out to Dubai. Norbert's good rounds for Hamza because he's got a similar style to Whitaker. Let's get some rounds in." So we did that first. We did a couple of days of sparring. Then they were like, they realized I'm a great spar for Hamza, and Hamza is a great spar. We're actually great rounds for each other. So they were like, "Oh, come out again." So we did some more rounds. Great rounds, fun rounds. Really enjoyed it, and it just is like I get to see where I'm at in the world. He's
you guys might be the two of you. The two of you could arguably be. It's not a big leap of faith to say the two of you are the future of MMA.
I would say so. I mean, arguably, Hamza right now is the scariest middleweight or scariest guy in the world. So, to me, to be able to get those rounds in, is just just to see where I'm at actually, in terms of level and what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. It's great. And obviously, everyone was hospitable, and everyone was like great hospitality from all the guys at TK MMA and Hamza and his team, and they're all lovely. So it was great. It was great. Really enjoyed it.
Hey, what's the etiquette on filming when you're in there with someone like him? So you come in there with him, and he obviously has I'm guessing he has a reputation to protect. No filming.
I wouldn't want them to film. Like that was the first no filming. I wouldn't want them to film me. I'm sure they wouldn't want me to film them. So it's I think there's the thing behind it. Everyone knows that no filming. That's all right. Sorry, I'm just in the gym, so someone just came in.
Let them get naked. That will be good for the video. A little nudity is always good for the video.
Enjoy that. She said it's actually 20 quid. That's what she said. But... Oh my god.
Hey, Norbert. So that's an no one even has to say anything. That's an unspoken rule. You don't pull your camera out and start filming the rounds.
No, you do have to say it. You do have to say it because people do get cameras now, and that's regular stuff that you know you do sparring and you have to tell someone like, what the fuck? Excuse me, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be filming it, you know. But like, I think with us, we just everyone knew like what it was about. Strict, everyone's strict. You know, we're gonna try to kill each other for the next like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So no filming, no nothing. You know.
When you walked out into the stadium and they booed, you said you enjoyed it. What is that? You're able to take that energy, regardless if it's good or bad, and use it. What did you like about it?
I just like prove people wrong, guys. I think that's been a little to me personally. I don't. Sorry, I got another message. Oh,
it's okay. It's probably something you ate last night, Norbert. It's probably all. What's your supplement?
Right. It's actually,
what's your supplement?
It's actually my nutritionist. It's my nutritionist keeps messaging me. Yeah. So
the booze.
Personally, from within, it feels like I'm not sure if that's the actual case, but that's how I feel from within. I felt like for a long time, only until recently, I felt like a lot of people didn't believe what I was saying. Understandably, because I haven't had big fights, whatever. I think only my last 2 fights when people started clocking that, okay, this kid might be it. But I felt like I need to prove everyone wrong. Especially in Hungary, I used to get a lot of hate for no reason whatsoever. Like, as in, like, I just want to fight. And you look at the comments, and like 8% of the comments are just hate from Hungary. I was like, what? But yeah, so to me, like, I felt like I need to prove people wrong. And when I felt all those boos, you know, like this is my time to prove 13,000 people wrong.
I am just
you don't get to do that.
I'm just a fan of the sport, so if I speak out of turn, feel free to unfuck me. Like I'm no expert in fighting at all, but there are these fighters who were just absolutely insane wrestlers: Tyrone Woodley, Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns, and more we're seeing them stand up. We're not seeing them go to the ground, right? I mean, obviously Tyrone's gone, and here we are, you who is a world-class jiu-jitsu practitioner, wrestler in many of the different disciplines, and yet you're fighting in this karate stance. Do you think that we would why is that? What's going on there? Why aren't you taking people down and ground and pounding them? I mean, you obviously have the ability.
Yeah, so
and what happens to these guys? Why do they pivot to striking too? Why did Kamaru just pivot? Like, now he just has straight stand-up fights, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? You were NCAA fucking badass.
So I think they're two different questions, or I have to answer them differently.
Okay.
Regarding a lot of other guys, a lot of grand guys and wrestlers, I think the game evolved so much, especially the takedown defense side of it. I think it's a little bit harder now to get takedowns on a lot of people. Plus, the guys you mentioned, they getting a little bit older, so I'm sure it's a lot harder for them to have a nice drive or to have the explosion to take someone down. So I think that could be one answer for that. In terms of me, my coach has been a black belt for over 20 years in jiu-jitsu. He got qualified for the Athens Olympics in Greco-Roman wrestling. And he's got WBC heavyweight world champion boxers. He's been boxing since he was a kid. My coach, both my coaches actually, they're both very high level, but the one I'm talking about right now is Alexis Dimitriades. So my other one is Paul Ivans. They're both amazing coaches. But I think having Alexis play with my striking, you know, plus I picked up my if you know me, you know that Michael Venom Page, who everyone now knows, he's like a big brother to me. Like, he took me under his wings when I was like 19, and then, you know, ever since, you know, he's been looking after me. So I kind of, out of respect and my admiration for him, I picked up that Taekwondo style. And my coach is such a genius that he knew how to adjust everything So because of that, I feel like I picked my striking. Like I said, my coach is amazing and he's a great. Yeah, so that's me when I tried one day in the porn industry. It didn't work out. But that's a joke. That was a joke, by the way. I didn't really
I didn't
hit
get
what
it.
I
I
wanted
didn't get
to
it.
do.
Say it again. Wait, try it again on me.
Anyway,
One day you tried what? You tried what?
that was my first day within the porn industry.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I see it. Hey, you know, you
Yeah,
know,
it's not.
you know who you look,
It's
you know
not
who you look
like.
like there. Yeah,
Well,
one
that's
white
why I'm
guy
not a
and two black
comedian.
guys.
That's
I
why I'm
like
not a
it.
comedian. But
Hey,
yeah.
you know who you
But yeah.
look like here? You look like a buff version of who's the English fighter who took the world by storm, beating up Cerrone, but then he kind of has been struggling, and he
Yeah,
trained with
everyone
Hamza.
says that all the time. Darren Till. Darren Till. Darren
Yeah,
Till.
you look like Darren Till that works out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like a buff version of Darren
Yeah,
Till
a
right there.
lot of people say that. Funny
Yeah,
enough, my
yeah.
mom.
Nope.
First time my mom saw Darren Till, my mom said the same thing. But what was that?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
age is one thing. The older guys don't want to go to the ground as much. The second thing is you think the defense has gotten so much better, which we saw Dustin
yeah,
show off against Islam. And then
yeah,
the third thing is that you train with one of the most unique style fighters in all of MMA, Michael Venom Page, and you pick that up. Hey,
yeah.
what about this? What about that calf kick that 5 years ago took MMA on by storm, and then people like you, him, Wonder Boy, even Connor, you guys stand with that wide stance. Is that something you always have to be aware of, that like, hey, you have your leg, one of your front legs is too close to the guy and it's just always vulnerable?
It's vulnerable when you're not ready for it, but I think that's
Okay.
for everyone. If
Right.
anything, we're very elusive, so the distancing is a bit different and all that kind of stuff. So it's not actually that easy to get that low kick, but yeah, it's definitely something that you have to be switched on for. It's definitely like a lot of people try to low kick me before, especially with my stance. So say with Michael, is something that you have to be switched on for. But like I said, I've done all my rounds. I've sparred wrestlers, glory champions. I've sparred everyone, and people like I've seen that. So I know what to do in those situations.
Hey, so I was thinking last night, I was like, what, like, I don't know shit, right? I'm just fucking 5'4" Armenian dude, little pussy. But I was trying to think of advice I could give Dalton to beat you. And these were the two things I was going to say to him. I was going to be like, hey, do not fucking let this guy get into his fucking rhythm. And
Yeah,
dude, you have to throw caution to the wind. Don't try to figure him out, because we saw Kevin Holland try to figure out Michael Venom Page, and it just there's no figuring it out. It's just fucking
yeah,
it's chaos and it's precise. It's like there's no figuring it out. It's like, hey, if you don't have you better just throw caution to the wind, right? There's no, if you get in your rhythm or someone spends the first round trying to figure you out, they're fucked, huh?
yeah. So I'm gonna do a whole breakdown that you can give Dalton on how to beat me now. Yeah. So be ready.
Hold on, man. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
my pen ready. Yes.
Yeah, no, definitely it's a very awkward style, especially with me as well because I mix it up.
Right.
Like I've got ground background and my striking is, I would say, is pretty high level. So
Awkward but precise.
it
Awkward
is
but
is
very
good.
precise. Very precise.
Yeah,
Smooth.
yeah. So it's a bit of a nightmare to get ready for, and I hope Doughton is extremely nervous because he's never seen anything like me before. And he
Right.
sounds cocky, whatever, but there's just the truth. I wouldn't say like if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't say it. And I
Right.
100% believe it that he knows he's it's nothing he's ever come. He's never seen this. You know, he said he's been using guys in his gyms, whatever. But I don't know anyone in his gym who's got that kind of style. He said he was going to spar Wonder Boy, but Wonder Boy is just a striker. He doesn't mix it up, so it's a bit of a nightmare to get ready for me.
And when you're in of these 7 professional fights you have you ever just got into just like a perfect flow, Norbert, where you're like, oh shit, like you even know this guy's fucked, like you're just moving around like the wind in there and you're not even thinking?
Yeah, a lot of the times. I feel like once I'm in there, I'm just logged in. I just, you know, it takes over. I know what to do. It's what are you doing? What are you doing? One of the guys from the gym.
Tell her to stand up. Tell her to stand up. Is that a
No,
girl in there
it's
on
a
her
guy.
knees?
It's a bald
Oh,
guy. Come here.
oh, oh.
Come,
You can't
Felix.
be on
You're
your
like,
knees in there with Norbert. That's how rumors start.
wow. He was trying to be funny now. His name is Felix Klinkhammer. You can Google him.
Oh, Felix. Good to see you, buddy. I'm a huge fan.
He's the funniest guy I've ever met, but he just got really weird. What are you doing? What's up, man? You good?
Felix, what's up, brother?
He's a weird guy, but
Hey,
he's
what
very
is that
good.
guy? How is he Brazilian? There's an English guy named Felix.
No, he's German. He's German.
Oh,
He's German. Yeah, but he's one of he's one of the worst Germans. Germans are usually. Has he left? Oh no, that's it. Yeah, he's left. I'm not gonna say shit about him now. He left, but he's extremely good. He's got great. He's a 9-0, 8 first round submissions, and super funny. Like as in like he's probably the funniest person I've ever met. So Felix Klinkhammer, if you don't know him, check him out.
Felix. What's his last name?
Klink and Hammer. Pretty cool.
Oh,
name.
I found him. Felix Klinkhammer.
Yeah.
Okay, follow. I got it.
Yeah, he's solid. He's solid. He was supposed to find the UFC a year ago, and then he got a little injury. So unfortunately, that kind of he had to abandon it. But he's very good. He's honestly his jits is like we train with a lot of very high level jits guys here, and we ADCC winners and finalists and this and that. And even they say that he's got out of all the MMA guys they've ever rolled with, he's got the best jiu-jitsu. Like
wow.
his jits is crazy high level. I've seen him do crazy stuff to very well known jiu-jitsu guys. So he's
shit! Is he fighting the karate stance too?
Yeah, he fights in that style as well. He fights in that style as well.
Wow. Yeah, I thought I saw him doing it. And does he fight southpaw?
No, he's orthodox, but he switches as well. He switches, but he's main orthodox. But yeah, he's honestly is one to keep an eye out for because his jits is amazing, and he's extremely funny. Like as in, like he's hilarious.
Okay, I'll invite him on the podcast. I hate it when I have someone on here who doesn't talk. By the way, you're such a good talker. What a nice.
If it's about me, I love to talk about myself. It's my favorite subject.
Okay, let's talk about my favorite subject then. Let's switch it up. How are you able to stay focused? At your age, I was smoking weed, drinking alcohol, and just chasing girls, like just nonstop. And what's interesting is I'll let you answer that. And I asked Nicky Rod the same question when he was on the show. How do you keep focused so that you don't fall into the vagina verse?
Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard. To be fair, because it's my job. So I'm a very, I would say I'm I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, go on. Yeah, I feel. Wait, you're gonna treat someone? Sorry. Can you give me like 15 minutes?
Or you could take us somewhere else too. Do you want to go walk somewhere else? This show is very flexible. Do you want to walk somewhere else?
It's all 15 minutes. 15 minutes is all right. They just come back.
Okay, she can treat him while you're in there too. That'll be fun. We've never done that on a show.
Yeah, because literally I just came into the gym. We got a treatment room, so I want a little bit of peace and quiet while I'm in the gym. So I came into the treatment room, but didn't think it was going to be this busy. But yeah, I feel like I'm a fairly selfish person. It sounds bad, but like for me, everything's about me, about my success to me personally, you know. And if anything comes in the way of that, I'm out. So I think most, if anyone who's, if you're a 24-year-old kid who's got a little bit of name, can fight in shape, whatever, you will get their attention from girls, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like I can manage it quite well. Like I do it when it doesn't come in between me and my goal, if you get what I mean.
So like a practical example of that would
it's been like 12 weeks not speaking to one girl. It's fight camp. I do I'll do it after.
It,
Like just discipline. It's only 3 months of my life. I can enjoy myself after.
so you don't. I'll tell you what. Nicky Rod told me. He said that alpha males don't ever chase women. That basically he does him, and they come to him. And I said, but you have a girlfriend? He said, yeah. And I said, for how long? And I think he said 12 years. And I'm like, and so
Yeah, I know.
I said, well,
I
does
think
she
he
ever?
just.
I said,
Yeah, I
does she
was
ever
thinking
come
of
in the
his
way?
great, but I think he was just trying to go. So I'm sorry, we keep kind of. Sorry,
No,
you
go
got.
ahead, go ahead. Say what you were gonna say. Say it. It
No,
doesn't matter. Go
I
ahead.
think he was trying to go down a little bit of that new super hyper masculine social media influencer route. I think they
Right.
just if you go gay, like you do have to chase girls. Like you have to be smart with it. Like
What did you say? You
one
said
day
Nicky Rod is gay? Did you say he's gay?
no, that didn't say. I said great. He's
I just
great.
made that up.
I
I
said he's
just made that
great.
up. Norbert.
Yeah. I would banter. I just don't know him personally. I wish I did. I could banter, but I don't like to. I don't like to banter about people I don't really know. But yeah, he's
Here's what
great.
he
Whatever.
said though. Along the same lines of what you're saying, he said, I said, well, what if she has demands or something, or what if she interferes? And he said, hey, if it's not, if then she'd be gone. I said, even after
Yeah.
12 years, and he said, yeah. And I guess you're right. On one level, he is playing that hyper masculine role, but there is kind of a truth to that, right? So you're saying that basically, like if you did have do you have a girlfriend?
No.
No, but if you
I
did,
got too
and
many
let's
commitment issues, man.
but if you did, and let's say her sister was getting married and it was in your fight camp, she just has to accept the fact you're not going to the wedding. Like these are just
Yeah.
non-negotiables. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not going. Like that's not even. I'm sorry, but
Hey, I
this is
get
my
it.
life. I spent my whole life in it. Like and then that's one thing for me. Like they say that you can't chase girls, can't silly talk. Like you have to, especially if you understand how women work, whatever. You have to put effort into. You have to be respectful. You can't just be like, oh well, let girls come to me because I'm a big man. No, that's not how it works. But at the same time, if I do feel like it's going to be too much drama, or I don't need this headache, or it takes too much out of my time, I'm going to say I'm really sorry. It's not going to work. See you later. That's just how it works, unfortunately. And when I'm done, and when I'm older, a bit more mature, it's probably going to change. When my priorities are different. But right now, my priority is to be the best in the world, and unfortunately, that's what it takes.
Hey, and if a man wants to be with a woman, or a woman wants to be with a man, and their mate is pursuing greatness at the highest level, that's what makes such a good partner, because they assimilate to that, and they support that and nurture that, instead of, like, for you it's a practice in being selfish. For them it would be a practice in being selfless.
Yeah, I think if you look around, and for my um, surrounding, the people that I've seen who are successful and can do not just this lifestyle but different things in life, and they're very successful. Let's say usually like that person who's successful has got a partner that's very like I said, very selfless, and gives up their time for that successful person. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
If
totally.
a good example is like McGregor. Look at McGregor's girlfriend's been with McGregor the whole time, and she's following him around everywhere, and blah blah. And now they got a beautiful family, and they got billions of dollars, and they enjoy life. So I think it's one of those ones.
Yeah, you can, if you're going to date someone
But
who's on a mission for greatness, like,
the way the world currently is going down. Again, I got a message. Yeah, um, yeah, like you say, it's a bit different, especially with my age now. Feel like everyone's very entitled. Everyone deserves. Everyone thinks that they deserve. Not just my age group. Sorry, there's people in general, but my age group especially. Everyone's feels like everyone's entitled for something, you know. But that's not how life works, unfortunately. And when it comes to dating, everyone, I deserve this, I deserve that, blah blah blah. But and that's when if someone like me who's got a very obvious, a very strict and obvious goal in their life. Like I can't afford to be in that drama with someone else.
If you're gonna do great shit, your relationship isn't gonna look like a relationship that you see on the TV set or on social media. It's like, hey, it's not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you understand that, then it's cool. Like I know that, so I'm not stressed about it. I know once I'm done, I can focus on it. But right now, whatever I'm doing is working out, so I might as well stick to it.
Yeah, dude. I like to use the metaphor that you see a bird in the sky, right? Let's say a bald eagle, right?
Yeah.
And you love the bald eagle, but if you catch the bald eagle and put it in the cage, everything you loved about it is gone. And so it has to be a woman who sees you and realizes there's no catching this one. This isn't going to be. This is one that I'm going to have to admire soaring and figure out how. It's like my kids. There's a bird in our backyard that's been trying to get in our house last week, and my kids are like, "Hey, let's catch him and put him in a cage." I'm like, "Why? Why can't we just enjoy him outside?" You know what I mean? And there's this. There's that phenomenon. You are this soaring bald eagle, and for people to be in your life, they can't try to tie a string to you and pull you down.
Yeah,
You won't
100%.
tolerate that. You're not going to tolerate that bullshit.
No, I don't have time. I don't have energy. I don't have nothing for that. Like, I can't do that, unfortunately. But it's something that comes with it. Then so be it. Some people can manage it. I personally can't. That's my personality as well. Maybe if someone who's got a different personality, it's easier or different. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not too stressed about it. I just do what I do, and I've got one goal in my mind for now, and then I'm just gonna try to get that.
Jake Chapman, look, everyone wants to make a metaphor. Alpha men are like big oak trees. They don't need to go anywhere to attract honey. The bees come to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I've slept with a lot of girls. I don't know how true that is.
Matt Burns, I personally like watching bald beaver. Right? Do you guys have that word? Do you know that word, beaver? You know what that is? Beaver?
Yes, I do know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. English is your second language. I don't know. These guys are making fun of me for giving the bald eagle metaphor again. I've used it on the show 200 times. All right, fine.
It's a good metaphor. I like it.
Thank you. You're a good dude, Norbert.
I do like it. I do like it.
Norbert is with Dalton on June 22nd. Hopefully it will be on DAZN. When I looked it up, it said it was going to be on Max. That fight is in, where is that fight? It's in a foreign land, right? It's not in the US.
Yeah, it's Dublin, Ireland. So for me,
Dublin.
It's great because it's an hour flight. So I'm not gonna have jet lag, nothing like that. So plus I don't have to pay extra tax for the IRS, so it's good. I like it.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
In your game, every fight is the championship, right? Especially when you have an O.
Yeah.
There's no like, hey, this is just a regular season game. Like for fighters, every time you fight, it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally, I'm taking it like it's that fight for me. Every fight is the most important fight of my life, and that's how I'm looking at it. And I've got this my last week of hard work, and I'm making sure that I did not leave any stones unturned.
Is this you think the biggest challenge you've had? This guy?
Will was quite good when I was in Dublin, but the last guy I thought he was very good as well. But definitely Dalton is listening. He can box, he can wrestle. He's gonna be very strong. You can see it on him.
And they're not show muscles. The word on the street is that he is strong.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. They wouldn't call you Hercules, although I don't think he actually knows the actual mythology of Hercules because I've heard some interviews with him and he was saying that Pegasus was Hercules' horse and stuff like that. I don't think he knows the actual mythology, but I'm sure he's going to be very strong. So I made sure that I bring in extremely strong people. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. The difference is like when people are in front of me, it's a bit different. It's going to throw him off. I know exactly what he's going to try to do. And then when I land a shot on him, when he feels my power, because I carry a little bit of power in my hands, when he feels, I don't think he's ever been hit like that before. Not in fights. He's probably been buzzed or whatever, but I don't think he's been hit like I hit. And I think that's going to make a big difference. He's going to, get nervous, and he's going to make a mistake. He's going to run into something. He's not going to overthink it. He's going to be like, oh, I need to do this. And that's not going to work out for him. He's probably better off. He's safer overthinking and not doing anything than trying to fight me. And I can't wait, because I know he's going to try to fight me.
And what I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that a lot of people don't see the punch that's coming, because it seems like you wave with one hand first, and then there's this other hand just shows up out of nowhere. Like even though they've probably seen it 1,000 times, when they get in there and they see the one punch coming, there's not commitment behind it. They don't figure that out,
it's hard
and then
to
you
see.
leap forward. Yeah, it's almost like your own version of a Superman punch, kind of.
Yeah, basically, and that's why I hit people off. Like, I hit them once and then again and again, and then you look at the comments and everyone's like, "This guy can only do one punch," and how stupid that person. I kid you not, most of my fights, when I look at the comments, the people are like, "How can you be so stupid to get hit with the same punch over and over again?" Trust me, I'm somehow managed to get very good at it, and then it's an awkward. The whole style, everything is awkward about it, and Dalton will feel it. And I've got he tried to banter me online. I bantered back with him. He didn't like it, but I've got no bad feelings for him. It obviously it's personal, because he's trying to beat me up, but I'm going to enjoy every single moment of it. He's going to hate it, and he's going to regret getting this fight. But without a doubt, whoever you are, you should watch it, because it's going to be a good fight.
Did he, in an interview I saw with him, he said he asked for the fight? Is that true, that he wanted to fight you?
I don't think he asked for the fight, because I was asking for fights as well. I think we were just. I think he was just trying to say it to be like, "Well, look at me, how cool I am." I think it was just what offered to both of us, because I was asking for fights. I was like, "Just give me anyone," and then they offered him to me. I was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll take him." So I think it was probably the same with him as well.
How many more fights do you have on your Bellator contract? Are you allowed to share that?
Hello?
How many more fights do you have
Hello?
on your Bellator? Hello, hi, hello. Testing. Is this mic on?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
How many more? Yeah, how many more fights do you have with your Bellator contract? Am I allowed to ask that?
Yeah, I think 2, something like that, including this, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Norbert the Fifth. Will you pronounce your last name for me?
Yeah, well, I just say it the way English people say it, Növényi, Norbert Növényi.
And how do you say it? How does your dad say it if he yells at you?
Well, it just says Norby, but Növényi, Norbert. Növényi Norbert is the other way around in Hungarian. Növényi Norbert. But I just Englishified that, so just Norbert Növényi. That's just how it's easier for everyone. Yeah.
All right. Hey, dude, what a great pleasure to meet you. I'll be watching the fight on June 22nd. The comments are clearly people fell in love with you. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, you're a great human being. Thank you, and I'll be in touch.
Yeah, thank you so much. Take care.
Cheers, buddy.
Bye.
Fuck, love. I know. Fuck. And then I'm having Dalton on today, and I'm so in love with Dalton too. Jesus criminy. I don't want them fighting. My goodness. What a fucking mess. What a mess. What a mess. Laura Horvat didn't come on. The fuck. Wow. Oh my God. Someone just sent me a picture of a catfish sucking on a man's penis. What kind of friends do I have? Jesus criminy. Wow. I need to click away from that. I stared at that too long. Sevon, do you think people are surprised by your size when you meet them in person? I don't know. I never thought of that. You mean that like they're like, holy shit, he's tiny. The only I think, I don't know. It's weird because I'm just getting old. and I don't feel like I'm getting old. And so I think maybe sometimes people are like, fuck, he's old, or he really does look homeless. But I don't know. The only person who ever said anything to me that I can remember is Jason Hopper. When I saw him at the games, he was like, oh my God, you really are tiny. Yeah, Hopper was, yeah. Oh, geez Louise, he's bigger than I thought. I'm really normal looking. I'm just like, I look like an NPC. You know what I mean? I'm just like all my proportions. I'm just normal. Even though I don't understand why I have to wear a large shirt and like, I don't know. But I'm just really normal, especially when I go out in public. Like maybe like around town, I'll start to get a little pudgy. But like before any of you guys would see me, I'll start like fat. I'll like go into my body dysmorphia mode, and I'll start like losing weight. Like if I'm going to be around a lot of people, if I know that ahead of time, and I can just change my body so quickly. Like I can like around here, I'll be wearing 34-inch jeans, and when you see me, I'll be wearing 30-inch jeans. You know what I mean? I'll fucking just suck down. So I don't know. Oh, Christine Young saw me. Yeah, she's probably one of the few people I'm taller than. Yeah. Yeah, look at Vindicate. Your large shirt amazes me too. I'm 200 pounds more large. Yeah. And it's not even like it's I'm wearing my long johns, by the way. Just like a normal. So I don't know. What are you gonna do? Mike McCaskey, 205 pounds and large too. Yeah. And I have to like pull the shirt like off my gut too, like a lot. Like I do the fat guy dance a lot. Like I'm like constantly like pulling my shirt off me. I'm taller than you. Oh, we should date. See if I can get a pass from my wife. Ernie Garza, probably taller than me too. I've seen pictures of you. You're normal too, though. Looking like I don't think like you're. If your proportions, if you don't stand close to me, maybe you don't know how small I am. Okay. I should go. I haven't been home in 3 days. So yesterday when I came home, my kids like attacked me. It was like the greatest thing ever. Like they just dive bombed me. Like it was nuts. It was like 5 minutes of just like love fest. It was so crazy. They just couldn't. One of my boys was just bawling, crying, just bawling. I'm like a little bite next to Graciano. I've been in the same room with Graciano now, I don't know, a handful of times. I'm like a little mini version of him. Little tiny, tiny, tiny. Like I'm like like if there was a Graciano action figure, it'd be my size. Dude, Norbert. I'm trying to get Jack Della Maddalena back on. We've been texting a little bit. I thought he was going to come on sooner. And how about Tyson Bagent coming on? I feel like, you know, when you get validated, like, you know, like when you're somewhere and like you catch some girl looking at you, I feel like I'm getting validated this week. Norbert, Dalton, Russell Berger, Greg Glassman, Tyson Bagent on Saturday. Dude, do you want to see something? I've never said, you know, when people are like, we don't deserve him. We don't deserve him. You know how when people say that? I truly believe we don't deserve Andrew Hiller. I am so. Can you guys believe how fucking good he's gotten? This is crazy. As you watch this, how did he? I wish I could have been with someone the first time I watched this because I couldn't even get I was like, what is this? This is the craziest video ever. How did he come up with? I'm going to fucking call Andrew right now. I'm going to send Andrew a link. Fuck this. I want to know how creatively he came up with this. This is the craziest video ever. There was a movie Quentin Tarantino made a bunch of years ago. I'm not a big Quentin Tarantino fan. Ironically, some of my favorite movies are by him too, but I hate a lot of his movies too. But do you remember he made a movie and like halfway through the movie, there were like vampires and shit in it all of a sudden? You think it's the tism? You think it's like, I mean, this video is so nuts. There's a Quentin Tarantino movie, and like halfway through it somewhere, like there just became a vampire movie, and you're kind of like, what the fuck? Okay. Watch this video. Maybe Andrew will come on. I sent him a link. Let's see.
It would be great to have you back with Sevon.
I miss Brian Friend. Yeah, man, that was fun. Brian and I had a fucking thing going, didn't we? Fuck.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I am really hopeful that at some point he and I can do something together again.
We were crushing.
I'm kicking ass and I can let off the gas pedal.
I do think at this point that we're planning on doing Crucible.
We were crushing. I remember when Stefan brought him on the CrossFit podcast at HQ.
Amazing day, great day.
What does it mean in terms of preparation for tomorrow?
What does what mean? I don't know.
We've been working together for like 2 days. I mean, me and Brian are intimate.
Oh, Brian, yeah.
Just super honest. There's some stuff that they're doing over there that I don't really want to be a part of.
Welcome to Kill Taylor, the greatest show on the internet.
The purpose of this show, Taylor, was that you don't lose.
Peter. There are a handful of words that I've really made a strong oath to never say again, and you're fucking testing me on every single one of them right now.
How the fuck did he make that? It's dusk till dawn. I stopped roofing my shed to type this. Oh, thank you. Oh, dusk till dawn. Django is stupid. Sorry. All my friends love it, but it's stupid. I don't fucking understand how he made that. That video, really? It made no sense to you? Really? Vindicate, you're nuts. It's great. The video, Django. Is that your ad now? You mean like, do I own it? Yes, I own it. I've stolen it from Andrew. Yeah, masterpiece from Hiller. Yeah, it's... No, it couldn't have been just the final 30 seconds. No way. It takes such a crazy... And the music choices with like the Scottish music, and how about Pedro White? When I always forget just how close and the trust between all of us is, for Pedro to say that to him live on the air, hey, you're supposed to win, and then for Taylor to respond to it like that. I mean, that's just, there's so much fucking, that's just, there's so many just amazing pieces there. Yeah, Pedro Blanco. Thank you, David. Yeah, Pedro Blanco. Proximity bias into the echo chamber. Shut the fuck up. You don't even know what you're talking about. What goes through your head, Sevan, when you see old pictures of yourself? That one picture, Brian and I are at the regional in Del Mar. Someone should have told me I can't go out like that. I look like I'm a Lego character. My hair looks like Lego hair. Oh my God. I cannot believe that video. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe. I wonder what the context is. I don't even know if that clip he took of Brian is in context. Like, I don't even know what if Brian was talking when he says there's things they're doing over there that I don't like. Like, I don't even know what that's. I assume that's out of context just to like Franken-stitch this thing together. But for him to say that, and then Taylor, instead of getting defensive, to respond the way he did introspectively, and then I mean, it's just, it's nuts. Yeah, it's no, Sevon, you look 15 years younger. Sevon, was the homeless look a bet you lost? No, a lot of people say that to me, like, hey, I like the homeless look. It's like where I'm comfortable kind of look. I like the caveman look. I know. Sucks to be my wife, and I'm enjoying getting older. I like kind of like looking old. Hey, when I had my big beard, I should show you guys I used to have a huge gray beard. And when I would go out with my mom, like 7 days a week, people thought we were a married couple. Always, just always. And they thought my kids were my grandkids. Always. And this is 6 years ago. So, all right. Anyway, thank you, Andrew, for, I mean, you're a gift to the community that they don't deserve. They really don't. And I don't even like that word deserve, and I don't like that tacky cliche line, but that video is absolutely bonkers. God, I hope I really don't know how to process this weekend's fight between Norbert and Dalton. Anyway, I'm going to see. Let me call. Let me make one call here. Let me see what's going on, because I think I need to. I think the kids start surf camp today. I got a job, by the way. I don't really want to talk about it, but I got a job. I have my first work meeting at 12 today. I couldn't say no. I don't even need a fucking job. I was offered a job and I can't say no.
Hello, you've reached Haley. Leave a message. Thanks.
Let's see if she's going to answer. Hey, pick up. Hello? Hello? Isn't the iPhone cool now? When people leave a message, you can see it kind of like typing across the screen. Anyway, all right. See you guys this evening. For those of you who saw the show, this show, I don't think I've ever said this before, but you guys are lucky you saw today's show. This is truly, was truly an incredible show, and we're so lucky to have Norbert, what's his name? Növényi on the show. I mean, that was like, and then in a couple of years, when like he is bigger than Conor McGregor and he has the largest pay-per-views in the world, you can be like, oh, I saw him on Sevon's show. Look, the dude already texted. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on. What a fucking class act. God damn it. I wish he would have been a dick. Son of a bitch. Hi, Jody. Good morning. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Oh, yeah. Suze's on. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Ernie. Suze's on. I always forget. Suze's on today at 11 a.m. And then I'll be back with the great Dalton Rasta, the beautiful one, at 6:30.